Today's reading is Matthew chapter 16, verses 13 to 19. Today is the feast of Peter and Paul, two great apostles and leaders of the first generation of Christians. Peter, who had led the 12, who was with Jesus at all the key moments in his ministry, and who was appointed leader after his death and resurrection. Paul, called to be missionary to the Gentiles, the first great Christian missionary, dramatically converted from a persecutor of Christians and becoming the author of many of the letters of the New Testament. Towering figures, charismatic characters, models of discipleship. Together they represent the mission to both Jews and Gentiles, to the whole world. Traditionally, on this feast or near it, the Church ordains new deacons and priests, launching them on their ministry of service, their mission to the world. There's a big service in the cathedral of each diocese, with families and friends gathered, with many priests of the diocese present and all the senior clergy gathered around the bishop. It's a very big deal, as they say, very moving, inspiring and uplifting. Of course, the service includes lovely hymns and glorious organ music. Everyone sings their hearts out, tears of joy are shed, and we raise the roof. This year, however, things are different. Most dioceses have not ordained their candidates as yet, because congregational worship is prohibited for health and safety reasons still. We should pray, therefore, for all ordinands awaiting their ordination, probably with no clear idea of exactly when it will be or what it will be like. In this diocese, Bishop June ordained yesterday only those candidates whose ordination was really urgent for specific reasons, in a private service in the cathedral, with no families present, not open to the public, with an absolute minimum of people present, and with all social distancing measures in place. The service was videoed so that families could watch it later. You might have expected that to be an anticlimax compared to how it's usually done. In fact, it was moving and touching and personal in different ways. Despite the small numbers present and the lack of congregational singing, God's presence was almost tangible. At a time when clergy have to find new ways of ministering to God's people, new ways of leading, it seems right that new clergy are appointed into this role to be creative and active participants in developing new forms of ministry. Do pray for them. And remember also the other ordinands, whose term will come perhaps in the autumn. "You are Peter," said Jesus, "and on this rock I will build my church."